Happy Sundays with
Hi,
Cinnamon!
everybody.
We've been moving around Cinnamon's room because the light's coming in the window.
And I've moved.
And you've moved quite a bit, so this
Yeah.
background's a little funky for those of you that are visually stimulated by
Well,
beauty.
we took them on a tour of the other place. I just wanted them to know I'm in a whole new place now, and it's gone from one extreme to the other. I had this teeny little space where I had to get small. Now I've got a bigger space where I'm allowed to get bigger.
Maybe next time we'll go on tour. That'll be fun.
Yeah, when there aren't boxes to step over and
Uh-huh.
so forth.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, today, what were we going to talk about? You said the title.
Finding love where it seems not to be, because there seems to be. Oh, we were talking about.
No, where it seems to be, I thought you said. Not to be.
No, I'm looking for it where it is, not where it isn't.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were talking about. Is it Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Yes.
Is it who just overdosed and left us?
And Russell Brand was just on Primetime Video or Primetime with Oprah, speaking about heroin addiction and the rise of heroin addiction and how people are not tapping in to spirituality and their hearts, and so they want to fill that emptiness inside of them with heroin. And to me, I look at it like with food, with alcohol, with
anything.
You name it. It's just heroin. Heroin's here to just like really show us, what addiction is.
Well, and it's because it's illegal, that forbidden fruit aspect of it. So we notice it more. We don't notice the legal drugs, the legal heroin, like alcohol. That is, we're invited through the TV, through all media, to think alcohol is romantic and superior to other drugs. And yet I've been working with families for a lot of years, and I have seen alcohol do more damage than most street drugs. Mm-hmm. To a family environment. Mm-hmm. So it's really fascinating to see how the media especially makes it so romantic and attractive to be drinking. Mm-hmm. And
much like they did with cigarettes. I Love Lucy.
Yeah. Even being drunk has become romanticized. And completely accepted, and laughable. You watch them with their head in the toilet bowl the next day, and isn't that funny? And so we have to just be very aware of the world that we're setting up for our children, especially those children who have a propensity because of genetics toward alcoholism. Mm-hmm. And my family, it's the reason I haven't drunk since I was 19 years old. My family, it was permeated with alcoholism. Deaths through alcohol, and accidents where people took other people out with them because of the alcohol and so forth. And so I've warned my children all their lives, be aware that you have that genetic propensity.
My dad said that to me too, because his dad was an alcoholic, and he said that to me growing up all the time.
His father was, his brother and sister both died from alcoholism, and on my children's other parents' side, same thing. So it's not something, and we have to show our children, see how they romanticize that alcoholic beverage in the media. We have to show them where the enticement is, because it's so accepted in the world that you don't even see it as propaganda.
Kids are pouring their parents' drinks from the time they're young.
And drinking a little bit while they're doing it.
Probably.
Well, Drew Barrymore was saying that when she was 10, 11 years old, she was going around her family's house taking the last sip. So, like some of us take the last macaroni and cheese off the plate of the kids. Well, this is the kid taking the last drink out of these glasses, and she was an alcoholic before she was 13 years old. So,
So what are you saying though? Because I mean, I love wine tasting and wineries, and I'm
mean,
not.
what am I
What are you
saying?
saying? I mean, are you saying get rid of alcohol? I mean,
not
what
at all.
exactly?
Some
So I
people
want to know
can
what you.
drink. Some people can take a glass of wine and be done with it and never see another one for 6 months and be just fine. Those of us who have that alcoholic propensity.
How do we know?
Well, you know when you have to have that drink, where your life begins to revolve around that drink. I heard.
Well, yeah, you know, if you go on a Friday night with the girls and you have to have the drink, there is no way that you could not sit there without it.
Yeah,
That is
that's-
something to look
yeah,
at.
that's addiction. And I remember seeing Mary Tyler Moore on one of those talk shows years ago. It might have even been Donahue. And she put herself into Betty Ford Clinic because of one glass of wine a day. Because she realized her whole social planning revolved around that one glass of wine. Like if someone invited her out to lunch and she'd already had a glass of wine, she wouldn't go. Because she didn't want to deal with the, as you said, the social implications and so forth. And if she was going to a party that night, then she had to be really aware during lunch. Don't have that glass of wine because I want to save it. And it's a preoccupation. Then you know you're an alcohol, or you're addicted to whatever it is. We could be, as you said, talking about anything, about food or sex or anything. Addiction is addiction, and addictions cause suffering. No exceptions, and no doubt about it.
There is no doubt about it.
No doubt.
They do, and you just want to think it's not a
Right.
problem.
And you can think that for a long time.
You can.
And then what I love about that is that it's the power of love saying, oh, you didn't see it when you had the car accident? Oh, well, you'll get hit by a train, and then you'll see it. Oh, the train didn't do it. Okay, the airplane will come, or whatever. I'm just making up stories. And my point is that the power of love will make whatever you need to see as big as it needs to be, and then your choice is to see it or not. And some people can see it across the sky and not be willing to do what it takes.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty
Just because
of the power of choice.
their tolerance to suffering is just so high.
And their fear of change is so great that their fear becomes greater than their willingness to make the shift. And then all you can do is experience compassion for them and know.
And I know that this shift, I mean, just with everything I've been doing, this shift is not an easy road. And guess what? Life's getting a lot easier for Kathleen.
Once you
Yes.
practice enough, you become so good at it that you're not practicing anymore. You're just being. It's just what is. And people will say, oh, this or that, and they'll comment on it, and you think, what? Because it's so natural.
I love your